Contributions of early India. Science in Vedas. Vedas are the religious scriptures of Aryans. The life and the times of Aryans are portrayed in these works. In the Vedas, scientific thought have been conveyed in a spiritual background. The mathematics. Arithmetic and geometry were well developed during the Vedic period. The Vedic sage, the Medhati, is known as has enumerated various multiples of 10, including 1012 in a systematic way. The complicated religious rituals of Aryans provided the impetus for the development of geometry as well as the astronomy. In the early India, the performance of religious rituals, especially yagnas, required a good knowledge of geometry and astronomy. Thus, the astronomy developed to calculate the time and geometry developed to the measure lengths, areas and volumes of ultras. The Vedic medicine, the Atharva Veda, mentioned various human ailments and describes their treatment: fever, cough, consumption, diarrhea, jaundice, abscess, tumors, the paralysis, and the are found frequently mentioned. The most important and vital element, as also the prime mover of life, is prana, which governs all the psychological process. The history and philosophy of science, 24 more than 50 herbal and other medicines used by the modern Ayurvedic practitioners and mentioned in Vedas. Scientific thoughts in the Vedas. Some of the rishis believed that the earth rotated around its own axis and also it revolved around the sun. They also knew the moon shone with the reflected sunlight. One of the most striking features is that the different types of thoughts and liberations, sometimes the contradictory, have been harmoniously included in the Vedas. Not a single rishi seems to have been disgraced or discarded for his views. The atomic theory. The earliest non-references to speculative atomism in India occur in the Canada Sutras. The body is not composed of 3 or 5 elements, and a conjunction of atoms is not there. The first actions of atoms are caused by the adrishta. Atoms are external. The commenters of Vaishika and Nyaya, the schools later developed this into the atomic theory of matter. According to them, the external world exists independently to the human cognition. Atoms are external, partless and spherical. 4 distinct types of atoms corresponding to the 4 substances: earth, water, fire and air. Our thought of each type has specific qualities with the reference to the outdoor taste and color and touch. The golden age of Indian science. The period from the 4th century BC to the 6th of 7th century AD of about 1,000 years, covering the Maurya, Shaka and Kushya and Gupta empires, was marked by free exchange of ideas within the outer world, intense cultural, political and commercial interaction within the Western and Eastern countries. We can also witness a kind of scientific advancement within the country during this period. India surpassed all other countries in almost all the fields. Medical sciences. Medicines played a significant role in early Indian scientific activities. The classical Indian medical college is called Ayurveda, or knowledge of long life. The 2 chief traditions of Ayurveda are those of Adriya and Dhanvantri. The most important text of Adriya is the Agniveshatra, and believed to have been prepared with Agnivesha and edited by Charaka and Chakravarti. And the Dhanvantri tradition is represented by the classical Sutra Samhita, and which are named after Dhanvantri discipline Susutra. psychology and psychomatic. The most original and advanced Indian science was psychology. The always of workings of mind and thought began in the last centuries BC. They resulted both in idea of importance of subconsciousness, life and realization of link between bodily and physical functions. Chemistry. Chemistry in India developed mostly for medicines, a theory of chemical reactions in the connection with the tastes and distinguished substances as they subscribed Charaka. The earliest surviving test of chemistry is the Sage of Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna was also associated with the discovery of process of distillation and calcination. Mathematics and astronomy. Astronomy, according to the Aristotle, a unique contribution of India to the world of mathematics is system of writing decimal numbers with place values and the use of zero. Among the early Indian mathematicians, the outstanding figure is Aryabhatta. The author of Aryabhatium, Aryabhatta stated that the earth was sphere and rotated on its own axis. He refuted the traditional concept of Rahu. He knew that moon was essentially dark and was illuminated by the sun.